Welcome back to the AB Scout Project. I'm Krieger. This is Alpha Bravo, and today we've got our first offerings from the Age of Primes line with the Fallen and Prima Prime, Megatronus, the Fallen, and on the front you've got their cartoon vehicle and robot modes. On the side you've got the Golden Prime set up. I'm sure once you buy all the boxes you'll be able to do a full panorama thing. And over here, it looks like we're actually getting a new P-Mop over here for the 13th, which would be kind of cool. Unless they, expect you to buy the MPG that's sold out. But anyway, coming back to the product shots, and their Prime weapon. Then you have the cartoon robot mode there. Names on top, legal on bottom. And that's about it for the packaging. So let's go ahead and break them out and review them. Alrighty, up first we got Prima Prime in his robot mode. Looks pretty good. This is kind of a mix between the Age of Primes book and the Prima Prime we saw in the flashbacks of the G1 cartoon when Rodimus went into the Matrix kind of thing. But yeah, it looks pretty neat. Very grayscale, as you can see. Trims out pretty well. Let's straighten that leg a little bit. There you go. He packs away pretty well. So, yeah, not too bad. Comes with the Star Saber, which comes in two parts, and then you can pop off the Matrix too. This is the same Matrix that they've been putting in everything. And you can put the Matrix on either side. It's meant for this side, but they had a 5mm on that side too. The 5mm on that side is probably so you could pop it over here, and have them hands-free. Yeah. Articulation, kind of move that out of the way, but that's as far as the shoulder goes up. Even full spin, you got that, all the stuff you want. Legs, kind of limited by the kibble again. Put the Star Saber down. Lots of bend on the leg. It's not too bad. Almost extreme ankle tilt. Yep, not too bad. Very posable. Lots of options there. So pretty neat. He does have opening hands. So, not much option. Actually, a little bit of inward movement. That's probably for transformation that we'll get into in a bit. But yeah, not too bad. And he's just a little bit taller than the Siege Voyager scale. It's like they're kind of slowly moving everything toward their old scales. Which is disappointing because I did everything to the Siege scale. But anyway. So here's the overcharge, and you can see how tall he is. So, with the regular Voyagers from the last line. But yeah, that's really about it. Let's go ahead and look at his vehicle mode. And here we have Prima in his truck mode. He rolls pretty well. It's pretty neat. It kind of looks like the Moonlander type vehicle type thing. Maybe from like Lost in Space or whatever. But yeah. The sword stows in pieces there. You do have to take the Matrix off. He does have a Matrix chamber in his chest. I didn't show you, but the Matrix does fit in there. I forgot to do it before I transformed it, so here we are. And so, yeah. It rolls. It looks kind of neat. You can flip these out. Take that off. Flip those out. Flip that down. Flip these down and kind of get a hover tank mode or a hover mode. Yeah, it didn't really work for me either. So, put it back to truck mode. You really got to align these back wheels to where it catches in these things. But yeah, not too bad. Reminiscent of the Siege Ironhide, but shares none of the steps, if you want to believe that. So they just found a completely different way of getting there. They said the sword. You can shove in here, and then this, you take the 3mm peg, stick it in here, and that's your stowage. So yeah, let's bring in the overcharged tank so you can get a size comparison here. So yeah, they're both in shot there. So you can see he's a bit smaller than the tank is, but yeah, not too terrible. Yeah. It's a truck. It does what it needs to. It's an alt mode. It's a prime. It's a Cybertronian van. It's a moonwalker. It can be whatever you want. Alright, let's do our final decision. So, is this our new Prima Prime? Previously, we had used the movie Optimus Protoform for Prima Prime, because that was the only figure there was. But this one definitely takes the cake. So this will be our new G1 IDW Prima Prime. Alright, let's go on to Megatronus. Finally, for today, we've got Megatronus. And he's a big guy here. And obviously they went off the Dreamwave comics for this one. And he looks pretty good. Turn him around here. Backs away pretty well. You have to look inside the thighs there to see any hollowness. So he is closed out pretty well. Articulation, good head around. Lots of spinny, loosey head. Comes up there, spins around there. Basically everything you need. Arm twist, hands open. Legs do all the movement. The twist here, the twist here. Almost extreme ankle tilt. And about 90 degrees on the leg. So yeah, not bad at all. He has the Soundwave / Decepticon emblem face. So yeah, he does come with his Requiem blaster over there, and also a ton of other stuff here. He's got his little staff here that kind of looks like the one he had in Rid 2005. This comes in 2 pieces. So we'll put that together. You can hold that there. He's got a little missile rack, and a little missile rack you can put up here. The knife, it has a pommel, so what you have to do is open the hand and kind of snap it in. Snap it in, close the hand. The gun barrel, this is used for tank mode. You can actually flick the 5mm to the side. We'll just stick it here. Now we'll get the flame effects. We'll put this one over here. Put this one over here. If we can get the holes to align. There we go. Stick that guy back there. And that guy back there. There we go. There's the full effect of all the stuff on him. And as I mentioned earlier, he's pretty big. So we'll bring in, you can compare him to Overcharge here, and you see he's pretty much back to the old Voyager scale. So we'll bring in Prima, so you can see Prima next to Megatron. See how big he is? Yep, he's definitely a big boy. One thing I did forget to mention on Prima, his head has a lot of lookup, so he can do a good flying thing. So yeah. But pretty neat. Alright, let's check out the tank mode. And here we have Megatronus in his tank mode. Looks pretty cool. I said he resembled the Siege Megatron. There's whiffs of Megatron, not really, nothing strictly copied except for the arms folding up and grabbing the cannon between them, and the legs kind of doing a split thing up, but it is brand new. There's a lot of interesting things they do with the chest and things like that, and with the feet, which is pretty interesting. Has wheels, so it rolls, that's good. You can put the big flames up here. His missile rack still goes where it goes. Everything else you got to build into this big staff thing. Which the funny thing is, when you're putting together the staff and the instructions, it puts the flames up here. But when it goes to stowing it, the flames are back here. So the correct position is the flames back here on the Rid 2015 staff. And stick the knife in. And that's how it fits. It doesn't fit the other way. So that's how you did the stowage. But overall, I think it looks pretty good. So, yeah. And those flames cover the gaps because you're looking at the underside of the arms. And you can see all the robot down there. We'll bring in the overcharged tank. Get side by side, you see how much bigger this tank is. How much bigger boy it is. But yeah. Not too bad. Turret does rotate. The cannon, actually the whole thing will come up. So, yeah, it does what it's supposed to. So, yeah, Not bad. Not bad at all. All right, let's make our final judgment. So, is this our new IDW G1 Megatronus? Now, the fact that, he didn't show up really in either, the IDW was pretty much like the Age of Primes or aligned continuity. This is definitely for the Dreamwave. And the previous winner was the Make Toys Chaos Paladin. I haven't had any experience with it. I'm only going on conjecture here, but I'm betting with the modern engineering and the scale, the Chaos Paladin was the old leader class, so this is a little bit better. So for being shorter and probably modern engineering on its side, not to mention you can find this, I'm going to give it to the new Megatronus the Fallen as our new Dreamwave Comics Megatronus. All right, let's wrap this up. And that's it for today. Thank you for joining us on the AB Scale Project. Please like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, ring that bell, and I'll see y'all later.